So I want to have a discussion on a few different topics. Firstly, target taking. Is it better or worse to take multiple targets? If you are going to take multiple targets, how do you decide where to take targets at and how much to take off at each level? It's a very interesting discussion. And then I want to talk about boxing and how being punched in the face hurts and how that relates to your win percentage. Trust me, it'll make sense when you listen. Tough one. For me, when in doubt, stay out. So I always look for the first sign of danger. So for me, I'd look for a retest of the lows. Sounds like Greg's the same way. Greg says, I'm not talking to Greg. Greg says I would not aim for beyond structure lows. Yep. Or maybe it's one of those situations where, hey, you make sure you take off partial position at the first lows. And then if you want to keep a runner on, if you want to keep a home run trade on, you keep that second part on for the the extension of the trade. And a part doesn't necessarily mean half, right? If you're trading a 3 unit, you can take 2 off at target 1 and leave 1 on for target 2. If you trade, you could break your trade up into 4 units, right? Take 3 off at target 1 and leave a quarter on for target 2, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be with targets, and we don't mention this enough. It doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Does that make sense? It doesn't have to be half off here, half off there, right? In fact, if you think about it, which of your targets is more likely to be hit? Target 1 or target 2? It's a very easy answer. It's the same every single time, right? Target 1. So is it that bad of an idea, especially the psychological standpoint of it? Is it that bad of an idea to take the bulk of your position off at the level that is more likely to be hit and then leave a smaller percentage of your position on at the level that is less likely to be hit? Yeah. 75-25 split. Nothing wrong with that. 66-33 split. Nothing wrong with that. Debatable. I don't think it's controversial. I think it all depends on traders' preference, right? It all depends on traders' preference, because think about it like this as well. And there's so many moving pieces that are involved in multiple targets, right? So if you're trading target 2s, right, and the split is up to you. But let's look at it like this, for example. If you're trading target 2s, I'm assuming you're trading target 2s because they produce more than target 1s, right? They bring more profit than target 1s. Would I be safe in saying that? Could we all agree with that? Your target 2s should produce more profit than target 1s. Right? Yes, right? Because if they don't, then why are you trading target 2s, right? Think about it. If they don't, then you would make more money taking everything off at target 1, right? So some of you guys are like, oh, wait a minute. I never thought about that, right? So your target 2s should produce more than your target 1s. So if we're thinking about this just from a pure bottom line perspective, right? If your target 2s produce more than your target 1s, why are we even taking target 1s? Shouldn't you just take everything off at target 2? We wouldn't trade a target 2 if it didn't produce more than target 1. Technically, we're wasting money taking it off at target 1 if our target 2s produce more. So if it's just a bottom line, just say if the money and the profit was the only thing at stake, it'd be a simple solution. In reality, it's not. Sorry about that. In reality, it's not, because there's more things that come into play, right? Psychology, right? Now, you're going to get people out there that are very robotic, and you're going to be like those, like Richard Dennis and the Turtle Traders, where they're like, you know what, Akil? I don't care about no darn psychology. All I care about is the bottom line. So if it means I got to be a 10% trader to make more money, then I'm going to be a 10% trader, right? And some people are like that. Some people are very robotic. They can do that. For most people, if you understand what 10% actually means, 10% means this, right? Let's think about it like a boxing match, because I think violence is the best way to make it feel realistic. Let's think about it like a boxing match. And there are 100 punches thrown in said boxing match. Out of the 100 punches thrown, right? The wins are the punches that you land. The losses are the punches that your opponent lands. If you're a 10% trader, you hit your opponent 10 times. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow. You get hit 90 times. Can you deal with that? Now you're still going to technically win the match, right? Because we're assuming your trading strategy is profitable. So within those 10 punches, somehow you knock your opponent out. But are you going to tell me that you're going to go into a ring? Are you going to, let's put it this way. Are you going to make it to the point where you land your 10th punch? Or are you going to quit well before it happens? I can tell you this right now. If I go into a boxing ring and I go in there and I get hit 50 times and I've only landed 5 punches, I'm walking out. That bell is going to ring for the next round. Ain't nobody going to be there in the corner. Ding, ding, ding. Kill. 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 I am walking out. I am walking out ASAP. So the reality is we have to know our limits. How many times can you get punched before you give up? And it's different for different people. Again, you have Richard Dennis and the Turtle Traders, and they were even different, right? One of the reasons that there were different performances in that experiment, right? They all traded the same way, the same strategy. But they didn't all have the same results because some people couldn't stomach the low win percentages. It wasn't 10%, but I think it was below 20, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that, but it was very low. But everyone's stomach is a little bit different. And this is part of that back testing, or that we spoke about this earlier in the first session about knowing yourself as a trader, right? Adjusting your trading style to your personality. So for me personally, and it may be different now, but 40% is my max, right? Under 40%, it gives me, and again, this was me years ago. I'm going to assume it's the same now. Maybe I'm a little bit more disciplined now and in a little bit different situation. So maybe that number, maybe it goes down a little bit. But anything under 40%, I can't stomach. I am okay winning 4 out of 10 trades. So winning 4, losing 6. I am okay landing 4 punches and getting hit 6 times. But anything below that, that's where I start to freak out. For some people, I think Jason Greystone, it has to be above 50 for him. It's got to be I punch you, you punch me. For some people, it might be 70. For some people, it may be like I have to win more than I lose or I'm going to go crazy. So part of that initial target, as I think it was Bobby who mentioned this as well, it's feeding that psychology. It's giving you wins because that win is the fuel that's going to keep you going to future wins. Because if your car stops running, it doesn't matter what your expectancy is. You're never gonna have enough gas to get there. So that's the tough part that comes into play when you're looking at splitting your targets and where you're taking targets at. Again, I told you the story before of a trader. I didn't know this trader, but I read the story somewhere where he would take targets. Right, he would take a partial position off every time he was like 5 pips in profit. Right? Every time he was like 5 pips in profit, he would take a partial position off simply because once he got some profit from the trade, right? Once he got some profit from the trade, just knowing that he wasn't going to lose everything was what he needed to see the rest of the trade out. So it's like going to the casino and like you win your first hand of blackjack and you put a little bit in your pocket. You put a chip in your pocket. You're like, okay, at least I didn't lose it all. At least I didn't lose it all. And for him, that was his comfort. Where before, it would destroy him to lose a trade because he lost all of it and then he'd revenge trade and do all the over trading stuff we talked about yesterday in the coffee break show. So that's a great example of how psychology works. He could have a losing trade, but because he got a little bit out of it, that was his psychological fix that he needed. Rain said, I think it was in the market. Yeah, I think it was in was it Hedge Fund Market Wizards? Either that or the second one. Probably one of the Market Wizards books. So yeah, that's interesting. You guys are picturing taking 9. You know, in real life, if I get into the boxing ring, I'm down on one punch. One punch and I'm done. I got a glass jaw, guys. Yeah, going down. I mean, I'm a duck. I'm a duck a couple. I feel. Oh no, I'm gonna get a punch off. I feel like it would be like this, right? I'd come in, right? Whew, you know, a little dancing, get the happy feet going, right? I'm gonna duck a couple punches, right? Because I've been, you know, I spent my COVID years hitting the bag. You know, don't play around, right? I was telling Dion when back before COVID, if I go out to London, we're gonna spar a little bit. So you better get ready, Dion. Don't tell Dion I said that, please. Please don't tell him. He's a real boxer. I'm not. Please don't tell him. Seriously, don't tell him I said that. I did say I would box with him, but don't tell him I was talking smack because he's gonna hit me hard. But I feel like I would duck a couple. Crap. Love you, Dion. Hope the kids are doing well. I feel like I would duck a couple, and then I'd hit him with a hard counter. Not Dion, but whoever I'm fighting. I'd hit him with a hard counter, like my best shot. Like hit him with a 3. Boom. Right? Left hook, right? And then I feel like I'd hit him with a 3. I'd give him all I got, and it wouldn't even faze him. Like I feel like it's one of those things. You hit someone as hard as you can, and it's like they just eat it, and I'm like, crap. And then I'm standing there shell shocked because I gave you all I had, and it did nothing to you. And then I get hit in the face, and I just my soul just flies away from my body. Like you see it as I'm going down, my soul just flies. See ya. Told you not to do it, dummy. Then I float up to heaven or whatnot, and first thing I get is like, you made some bad choices, son. You made some bad choices. Should have never stepped in that ring. But I'll land the punch, don't get me wrong. Will it do anything? I don't know. But I'll land the punch. Don't tell Dion. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Before you leave, do me a favor, check out my YouTube channels and subscribe. Yes, I said channels. I have the normal Akil Stokes channel where I upload basically daily, 6 times a week, anything from Trading Coach Podcast to live streams to the weekend Trading Edge video, which is kind of the main video that I've been doing forever now. I also have a channel called Akil Stokes Shorts. These are quick tip videos, very similar to the ones you see on social media. So if you saw like the quick 1 minute to 3 minute videos on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, they're all going to be archived on this channel as well. So if you ever need a quick little pick me up, make sure you check out that channel, Akil Stokes Shorts.